Hello. I've not turned this light on. Let me do that as well. Hello. Hello.
Hello from the darkness.
My old friend. Hello and welcome to this final boss fight live stream of the Council of Tamrinor. My name is John and I am joined by these fine people, Ben.
Hello. Yes, I am named Ben and I am here joining.
And we also have a Sean who definitely has a voice.
Hey, do you want to feel so rich?
How
Welcome.
rich?
Well, if you try a certain person's cheesy snacks. This is a joke that none of the people in the call
This won't make sense. Yeah, this won't make sense at all.
That's the fun of it. Inside jokes.
Yeah,
They're fun for us.
That's what this stream's going to be. There's going to be a bunch of jokes that we understand and you don't.
Bring on the cheese.
Yeah. Hey, John, what about bonsai bashing?
That's amazing. We should definitely talk about bonsai bashing.
That's one thing from Ben won't get.
Yeah.
I was going to say, damn you!
We also haven't discussed Zoe's trips to work recently, but his commutes have been crazy.
For decades now.
Jesus, it is nearly a decade now since we lost him in Sainsbury's.
It is.
I'm surprised. I shop at Sainsbury's now a lot more.
Yeah.
You would have thought I've found him in the past year of shopping at Sainsbury's, but apparently no.
He's, gotten lost. He's deep. He's like deep in the Argos storeroom now.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it is kind of like a back rooms.
It is.
I don't go there often, so that seems reasonable. No, this is our world building stream. This is the Council of Tamrinor, and it is crunch time, guys.
So we're eating crunchies?
No.
I mean, I'm down for that stream.
Crunchy.
We've set a deadline.
It's got little bones in it and everything.
I've set us a deadline. I want the book. I would like it if we can make it happen that we have the book finished for UK Games Expo.
Okay. Which is in 2 days.
Which is at the end of the week. So, which is at the end of May. Which means I think that we probably need to get the book to the printers at the start of May, which means we have roughly 3 months.
Yes, that as well.
So, I'm just going to go back to my message I sent in the group chat to just go over what I can say that is outstanding that we are working on at the moment. And then also, I've written a list of things that are outstanding that we need to get some answers to, which is what this stream and probably the next couple are going to be about, squashing all of these gaps that we have.
Crushing them with our muscles.
Tanny is hopefully going to be drawing the cover art for the book.
Oh. This is what you didn't give it to me because I can't do it.
Yeah. This is also, I'm feeling, going to be used for the opening cover page of chapter 6 of the book, which is going to be a sample adventure.
Ooh. Cool.
Jen has been commissioned to draw a special edition cover for the book. Because I want to do a special edition cover to the book. The alt art version.
It'll be all fancy as fuck.
I've seen that we can get it done with foil.
cover it in tin foil like a baked
And
potato.
I think that will look fancy. So Jen has been commissioned to draw a special edition art cover of the book that will feature Eric, Mira, and Tak. So the 3 characters that started Tamrinor.
Okay. And there's going to be a picture of them brutally being killed, right?
Horribly murdered and
The
disemboweled.
end of Tamrinor.
It is going to be a line art thing that will work very well on a black book cover with probably gold foil. And then the book logo, it'll look sweet. I hope it looks sweet. I've seen the sketches. It's fingers crossed.
It's sketchy.
It's a sketch at the moment. Drew and Ree are going to proofread the book for us, which is very important because it means I won't make any spelling mistakes, hopefully. Or if I do,
But they will.
They'll be caught before we send it to a book printing place.
So we get to blame them if it goes wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
They will. They're not going to be the only people we send a copy of the book to for proofreading, but they are people that I have already asked. Amy is currently drafting up ideas for the sample adventure.
Cool.
Cool.
Richard, who you may know as the Dark Lord, depending on which Discords you're in, or Dax the Unexpected, is going to be writing us a preface or forward that is going to be written in character voice, as a character from Tamrinor.
Okay.
Cool.
Both Amy and Richard have been provided with the draft of the book as it stands at the moment, so that they can do the thing that we've asked them to do, because it's very difficult to do both of those things without knowing what the F is going on.
That's fair. Yeah.
How dare they?
They have
So
also
basically, they're going to steal the book and publish it themselves first.
they have also been told not to share it, because that would be not great. Sian is going to be hopefully going to be drawing us cover art for Chapter 1, Welcome to Tamrinor, which will be a landscape artwork, and Chapter 5, which is the player options chapter, which will be probably a table of magic items.
Okay.
I have to work out doing Chapter 2's cover art, which is going to be a map of Tamrinor.
And I could wood burn that
I mean, that would be cool.
as an option.
That would be cool. Ben, you might be doing Chapter 2. Between
And
us,
changing everything. I'm doing the front cover. It'll just be a stick man.
I have also.
That's this special edition, sure.
Yeah.
I have also read through the book as it currently stands and picked out some of the things that we don't yet have. And I've put together a list.
Hey.
And I feel that this is the time to... We'll start off by running from top to bottom of everything that's in this list. So let me throw the list up onto the stream.
How dare you?
Badoop, like this.
You're going to show it like dirty laundry?
Yes.
How dare you?
First up, this list of locations is a list of locations that don't currently have an adventure hook to go with them. So that is Boreas Fields, Cragcliff, Coggosmoot, Cravenwing, Durox Forge, Erum, Honeyvale, Lawfell, Lycos, Emtaradim, North Haven, Sanctuary Springs, Sirens Academy, Sirens Harbour, South Haven, Stone's Grave, Sunspire, Silvarin, Tor Point, Tor Gallard, Taze Hall, and Vectis Haven.
Okay.
That's a big list, and I don't think we're going to tackle that one tonight. I think that's probably next time's stream time, with us all having a bit of that list to go through between then and now.
I was going to say, that seems like one where maybe do, as a suggestion, as a random suggestion, if we could put those into a random generator, or you just sort of chuck a number by them and just sort of randomly sort of spin a wheel, so we all get random ones to create quest or adventure hooks to these locations.
Yeah. I named Coggosmoot Tanny. It's our
Would you not tell?
place. It's named after a local place.
Oh, I see.
And then I took a different ending to the word. It's Coggashall.
Yep.
Ah.
And I
you.
I took the hall off it and put the hall on Taze Hall. And I was trying to go through like various like Coggos Hill, Coggosville, and I liked Coggosmoot as like the meeting place.
Coggosmoot does have a nice little ring to it, I'll say that much.
Yeah. It's where the goblins live.
Ah.
Because they're all the inventors.
Yep.
And if we are throwing this into a random hat, I might just take that one for myself.
To be fair, I think that's fair.
I realise that's not randomising it, but I do also have an adventure hook vaguely planned in my head that might work for that.
For that sake, then, shall we... Oh,
hi, Geoff.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
It's all right. We were just talking about you.
Right, let's rewind to the start so Geoff can be here. Sean, do you want to scream the two things we did off stream first so that everybody gets the inside joke?
No, I'm not doing that again.
Okay, we won't rewind that far back. We've got a deadline. We've got a list of things that we're doing. This is a list of places that need adventure hooks. So yes, Ben, you were saying.
Oh, catch me while I got something in my mouth, would you?
Okay.
Right.
Let me know the next time you have something in your mouth, and I'll talk to you again.
So basically what I was saying is, with this nice selection which we've got here, we sort of randomly throw them out for people, or for us, and next time when we come back, we come up with different adventure hooks for the locations which we've been given.
I like the idea of that.
Sounds like a terrible plan. No, it sounds fine.
And then John's decided he's just going to take one, and Ben, suddenly...
Immediately throw a spanner into this plan, and...
I'm going to throw a spanner into the works and take one for myself.
Which, to be fair, was one which you came up with a decent name for it and a decent bit, so... I think we can give you that.
Does anybody want any, like... Before we randomly assign them all, would you all like to pick one for yourself?
Do we have the details of what's going on in these towns? It's been a while.
Yes, we do.
I was just expecting a yes.
Yes, we
Sorry,
do.
was there more to that question? Was there? Oh wow!
I'm just going to move
I'm
that
getting
off
a
the
sneak
stream.
peek. Yeah. Sneak peek of the book if you were quick enough.
So Boreas Field is a large idyllic grassland plain to the east of the continent of Tamrinor. Nomadic tribes of wild ones populate that area, and it is also the home of the fortress monastery of the adherents of Rorquesh. Warriors who worship and revere the last known brass dragon. Also, Geoff has just subscribed for 87 months in a row, saying, "Greetings, fellow investigators."
What a nerd.
Cragcliff is an ancient city on the northwest coast of Tamrinor, just below the mountain range that borders the very north of the continent. It was one of the main ports of Tamrinor for hundreds of years. Cragcliff has a large zoo containing a collection of weird and wonderful animals and magical creatures from around the world. Several statues line the top of the cliff that hold chains, and the chains are used to hoist the ships up to the top of the cliff to allow the dock workers to quickly clear the ship of goods to be transported inland. As the dock workers control the chains that lower the ships, they also use this to collect extortionate tariffs to lower the ships safely back to the seas. Craven Wing is the home of the Raptors. Durk's Forge is a volcanic forge of the dwarves, where dwarven ingenuity battles with dwarven tradition. Arium is the large desert. Honeyvale is the idyllic and cozy home of the halflings. Lawfell is the capital city. Lycos. Lycos is the home of the Cliffsiders, an inhospitable island blasted by the winds. Lawfell. Taradim is a once nomadic tribe of barbarians and warriors who have settled within the wastes of Arium and founded what was once a large fortress and is now a thriving trade town. North Haven is a former large port town and trade hub until the appearance of Staros to the north. It is now primarily a fishing village, and the trade hub has moved to South Haven. North Haven is also the home of the Bumbling Monk.
Hey!
Never heard of it.
The bumbling monk will live forever.
Sanctuary Springs is the town within Arium, the sort of main trade hub for the desert. Siren's Academy is the magic school. Siren's Harbor is the small fishing town on the edge of the Sirens Lake, which Siren's Academy is next to. Siren's Harbor features the Wizard's Staff, a drinking hole that is 3 stories high with a dance floor on the 5th floor due to magical leakage that nobody quite explains. South Haven is now the main trade hub. Stone's Grave is the home of the dwarves. Sunspire is the mountaintop home of the Avians. Silvaran is a treetop encampment that is easy to miss from the ground and is a village that grew out of a army encampment of the holy war between Ravenseat and Tor Galad. Tor Point is the now ruined trade waypoint that fell during the Great Plague that started in Lorfell. Tor Galad is the home of the elves, a big old forest. Taze Hall is a human settlement on the border of Tor Galad that was originally a modest military encampment. And then Vectis Haven is the dark Gothic city of industry and grimness. So now that I've run out of breath and a lot of things that I've just said, who wants what?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you go through all those again?
Yeah, can you do it again?
Again.
Sanctuary Springs stuck out to me, actually.
Okay.
If that's the main city in the middle of a desert...
That's the one, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, Sanctuary Springs is the biggest.
How many adventure hooks are we talking? Just one for the moment, or one or two?
One.
Or what?
I mean, I think at the moment we've got Staros has 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know...
What I'd probably say is that we need at least one for each location.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come up with more, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if your inspiration hits on one, then it hits, you know.
It's
There's no
not
point
that we're
sort of
going to turn
stifling
you
it.
down necessarily.
Yeah.
But ideally, yeah, we want one for each place.
Did we, out of interest, and this is out of left field, did we keep the map of the old version of Tamrinor at all?
I do have that. I will dig that out.
It.
It was very impressive. It was still on the PC.
Yeah, it's a digital file. I found it the other day, quite by mistake, while I was looking for the artwork of Eric, Mira, and Tack for Jen's artwork they're doing. Ben, Sean.
Yes, we are here. I must admit, the Forge is calling to me.
Okay.
Just in general, or for actual?
Oh, if it calls to me, I must smith.
It's the Hammer and the Anvil song. It's got me going, you know.
I'm torn. I am torn.
So you're sure?
We all immediately came up with the same joke. We just all immediately came up with the same joke.
One brain cell.
We're all dads.
It's yeah. None of us have any children, but we know.
I don't know.
No, we have children. They are the commenters and the viewers. They are our children. Do not expect to pay.
I hate to say it, I was going to make that same joke as well, so... Let's turn it all off, guys. Let's turn it all off. We've all become one.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. Well, good night, everybody.
Good night.
It's out of Honeymead, Stone's Grave, or Vectis Haven for me. I can't... Will this advert please fuck off?
No.
No, that's how we make money. We
He's
cannot
one of the annoying ones that keeps like shoving the screen up and shrinking the amount I can see.
Yeah, the border ones are a bit annoying, I must admit.
I feel...
But they're very good as well. Always go for the advertisements. Right.
Would you like me to roll a dice?
I've got ideas for practically all of them.
To be fair, that's my point as well. I kind of do, but in my mind, that was the reason why I went for the Forge. It's like, The forge is sparking with me. I'm having lots come from there. I'm trying to fill time so you can think, Sean. There's something about the blaze of the forge which gives an idea.
I could roll you a d6, Sean, and that picks the one that you're going to pick.
But then I'm going to be full of rage. I think.
Is that any different from usual? We know how you sell cheese, Sean. We know how you sell cheese.
Stonesgrave, I've got some different ideas. Vectis Haven, I like Vectis Haven. So it's like, I want Vectis Haven. I don't have many ideas for Vectis Haven, but I want it nonetheless.
I mean, that might be a good way to sort of inspire you to try and...
I feel I've got to pick Vectis Haven.
Okay.
I think that's a good choice.
Because as much as I do have ideas for the other two, it's like Vectis Haven. I want to secure Vectis Haven.
The others might still come to you in the random draw.
It would be ridiculous if both of them ended up coming to me.
The dice might have things to say about that.
Considering that Stonesgrave is definitely coming to me, right, John? Right, John? Right, John?
Sure.
I've tried to elbow you through the air, but it doesn't work.
Weirdly, it's gone to Dave from accounting.
So this list of places, we will come back to this towards the end of the stream to do a draw of who gets which other places. But let's quickly carry on through the list of other things that are still outstanding.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Factions.
Oh, yes.
These three factions, the Adherents of Rorquesh, the Council of Casimir, and the Emberwolf Archive. We've got a decent write-up of what those groups are, but I want to get some people in them.
Oh my.
Because we don't actually have, like, examples of who would be there.
For the prominent members of the Emberwolf Archive, can we have Eric?
I mean, I feel that Eric should probably be on that list, shouldn't he?
I'd say so somewhere.
Hardly murdered.
He is the janitor. A very noble profession, to say the least.
Now, for the Adherents of Rorquesh, I have spoken to Rogue.
Right.
Because the Adherents of Rorquesh are vaguely based on some of his backstory elements for Waterdeep. So I've said to him, come up with some ideas, come back to me with those. So we've got to come up with people for the other two places. I've currently got listed titles for at least 2 members of the Council of Casimir. I feel we need probably either 5 or 7 members of the council. Does that sound about right to you guys?
That does sound good to me.
So I've got either the Master or Mistress of the Coin, and the Mages of Antiquities and Artifacts.
Oh, how I wish that there are 2 So you've got a Magus of the Antiquities and then a Magus of the Artifacts. I would love for that, just sort of say them constantly bickering as to which one is actually an antique or which one is an artifact.
I mean, I was trying to think, do we have like a... I do kind of like the idea of having it be that there is another mage, but it's like the reader of the reader of recent runes or something like that. That's like very much one of the Terry Pratchett wizards from the Unseen Academy.
Unseen University, come on, John.
Oh well, you know what I meant. I was thinking of Unseen Academicals.
Oh, the football team.
The football team. I mean, I feel that there need, like, yeah, I can't do that, unfortunately. I wanted to put 5 slots in, but I can't. I feel that there needs to be the one that is in charge of the police.
Yes, I can see that. I would say probably not placing him down as in charge of law enforcement, but more on lines of.
It's kind of like the internal affairs person.
Yeah.
But it's also difficult to call it internal affairs without sounding like he's a shady person that does shady things. Which, to be fair, he might be a shady person who does do shady things.
I'm going to do a quick thesaurus look.
Why don't it's just say like administrator of internal affairs? Like that can't possibly be misconstrued in any way.
It helps if I put all the letters in internal.
Let's see.
What else do we need in the government? Basically, this is the government. What are the seats of the government?
So you've got the Treasury, which is obviously the coin, Minister of Internal Affairs. I would also say we've got to have something which is made for the sake of the different species. The interspecies coefficient to make sure that it works well between and that the different needs and things are honoured. And I place the coefficient. This sounds more like what the job is rather than the title for it, but
interspecies ambassador.
That sounds a good one. Yeah. I mean, the only thing which I end up thinking is it does sort of make a little thing to. Isn't there an anime which is a bit eerie in regard to interspecies? I think.
I mean, there's
I know the one you're talking about, but I don't believe it's ambassadors.
No. I was just thinking to myself, it just immediately popped to my head.
I think you're thinking of interspecies reviewers. Look it up, children.
That's the one. Yes. Don't look it up, children. Don't look it up. No.
Right up right now.
Stop listening to Uncle Sean. It's a bad idea.
Do we need like a well, for ours, we'd have like the Home Office, the people in charge of the police.
Oh, that would be the administrator of internal affairs.
Okay.
Would be the person in charge of the police.
He's more in charge of the secret. He's more in charge of the secret police. I'm more thinking of the overt police or the.
Oh no, he's in charge of both the police.
Okay. Yeah.
Effectively, it's the highest chair you can have in that chain of command. One thing though is state affairs. We need a person in charge of the cities, the locations.
External affairs?
It would be the external affairs. It makes a lot of sense when it comes down to it.
Okay, can somebody get me a thesaurus of what is another word for administrator?
On it.
Thank you.
Minister. Secretary.
Okay, so we have manager, director, managing director, executive, chief executive, controller, chair, chairperson, chairman, chairwoman, head, boss, chief, principal. We have official, leader, governor, premier, president, superintendent, supervisor, employer, proprietor.
All of those. Everything, all of it.
Yeah.
Every single entry down there.
No. Am I right in thinking that with our halflings, they love to have the extra names? But that is the point of this.
Yes, I think we have mentioned that for someone. I don't think it's halflings.
It's for someone.
It's the avians.
Avians.
We need an avian to be in that role, just for the sake that they have that list. As they've moved up the ranks, they've held on to everyone they've had.
Okay, so that's 5 names.
I will say, I do love some of the last ones which come onto this one. So I got to proprietor. Then you get the kingpin, top dog, bigwig, numero uno, Mr. Big, honcho, head honcho, gaffer, and not to forget, big wheel.
I feel that we moved past the official names of things a little while back on this list.
Okay,
so that's 5.
I still, I like your idea of the 7. 7.
I think 7 would be. Like, you can't realistically, you can't run a city with 5 people.
No. So
anything with like.
I think possibly we want the guy that is overall in charge.
Yes, the chair. You do need a chair. There's always the chair.
You need to sit down somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
One other one which I thought is, how about one in charge of effectively our adventurers guilds?
I was also thinking that's a thing that they would have, is they'd have the person that's in charge of guilds and freelancers.
Guilds. Yes.
We had a master already, haven't we?
Yeah, we got a master.
I was going to say master of the guilds, like a guild master.
Controller of the guilds?
Controller of the guilds and freelancers?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Director?
The director.
I like director.
The director. Yes, the director has a lot more of a... I do like the idea that these people have just been making up their own names as they're going along, and just... Every time you hear someone going for something better, like, my favorite one being chair. The chair of what? No. I am the chair. I am the top. Chair. I am the chair.
Everybody sits on me.
This is fine. I am the director. Me, I am the administrator. Just constantly.
Oh yeah, well, I'm the gaffer of public works.
Do we have trade or anything in there, or is that come under coin?
I think that would come under coin.
Yeah, it probably would.
I like the idea. I do like the idea. It's like the chair, like nobody knows what he does, but he's there.
All I know is that he is in the chair spot, which must be good.
He's there for every meeting. He doesn't say anything. He's in the chair spot, so they know he's important. Then when they all leave, he gets up and pulls out the mop and starts cleaning.
Nobody knows what he does. Nobody questions what he does.
We need that to be real. Just sort of saying, I'm literally just the whole side of. Everyone tries to impress the chair. If you secretly come in, one night sneak in, you'll find him cleaning.
It would be so good.
We didn't have a master of caretakers. I had to take this role.
It would be great. It would be brilliant if he's just a guy. He's just the guy who takes the minutes of the meeting. But he happened to sit in the most fancy chair in the room, so they think he is like ridiculously important.
Especially considering he says nothing and writes the entire time.
He's just writing constantly, looking at people over his glasses, and then at the end of any meeting, he says, "Thank you, gentlemen," and walks out. That's it.
Okay. Now it's time to name these people.
No!
And come up with a species for them. Because one thing we especially need to focus on is that these need to be multiple different species.
All right. How many species do we have?
Yes.
And is the answer 10?
1 second. We have...
In initial thoughts, whilst you're just taking a look at that, I think that our avian would probably be the magus of the antiquities and artifacts.
Oh no, my plan was to list out the species with a number next to their name, and then use a random number generating device to to determine what the species is.
Okay, Geoff.
I mean, to me that could be fair.
Geoff, start writing.
Oh, I've been go on then.
Avians.
Avians. Yep.
Dwarves.
Dwarves.
Elves.
Elves.
Gnomes.
Gnomes.
Goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Halflings.
Mm-hmm.
Tieflings.
Mm-hmm.
Wild ones.
Mm-hmm.
End of list.
We not got any humans in there.
That is a good question.
Please don't tell me that you've forgotten humans, you know.
Humans are not in the book at the moment, guys.
Okay, Human is
as much as I hate humans, I feel we need to put them in there.
Humans
for some reason, just a little feeling on that one. Yeah.
Hang on a second. I feel I need to make some extra notes in this bit of the book. We'll come back to that later. Sneak peek at the rest of the list, but yeah, apparently I've missed a step.
Oh boy.
Okay, cool. It not perfect system. This is why we proofread.
Yeah, it's true. We have had lots and lots of talks, hundreds of talks. I would even wager to guess on and off stream, and I know we've talked about humans, but we just carry on going about the other species.
We have.
The more I think about it,
the problem is our talk on humans. I'm going to go to the obsidian. Where's I close the obsidian? I'm just going to go to our notes.
I'll open up Minecraft. We'll start.
I'm going to go to my notes on the species. Our current list of our current notes on humans read thus. They get everywhere. Many of them are called Dave or Steve and are from Accountant. What am I meant to do with that, guys?
Oh God! I mean, for the sake of what we've been talking about the chair, I want the chair to be human now, just for the sake. But once again, everyone thinks, but it's just there taking notes and making sure that everyone gets the minutes for the next day. He's the first one who is always and the least is known about him. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, even if this is just a joke for us to laugh about when we take a look at it, the chair, the most unknown, is now a human.
That's what we need to. With what you've got on Obsidian, you're not adding any more to that. Humans are going to be the most mysterious race we have.
That is brilliant, to be fair. I do like that.
Okay, so I've put down that the chair is human. We'll come back to naming him in a moment. Geoff, how many races or how many species did we list?
Excluding the humans, we now have 8 species.
Oh, okay, I've got a D8 for this then.
God.
The mistress of coin will be species number 1, please.
Avians.
The magus of the antiquities and artifacts will be species number 8.
Wild ones.
Interesting. Mind you, I do like the idea of doing this as well, because it goes to show that it doesn't matter where you come from or what your background is.
It's a wild one called Wilf. Right, that's canon now.
The administrator of internal affairs is species number 5.
He's a goblin.
Actually, that kind of works. Just having little sneaky goblins going around and checking out things every now and again.
The interspecies ambassador is species number 3.
He's an elf. Or they, or she, or whichever we decide.
Whatever.
The chief of external affairs is
On the floor, apparently.
Species number 4, please.
It's a gnome.
Okay.
And the director of guilds and freelancers is species number 6, please.
Halfling.
Okay.
Okay.
For the sake of things, quickly, our chair human has to be called Dave.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm having too much fun with our chief human at the moment.
Also, I want to posit you've mentioned Wilf, and I want to add to that name.
Okay.
Oh no.
His surname will be Freeton,
Oh.
and he will have the worst. He will have the worst luck in the world.
Could you possibly send that on the Discord so that I can get the correct spelling of it?
just to make it as close but no cigar.
Legally distinct.
As legally distinct as possible.
Legally distinct.
Let's make it. I shall.
Oh dear.
Let's put
So-
it. I'll put it. I shall pop it in the streaming chat.
Okay. The other side of this, I guess, is at some point, if we get to a convention and he is there,
Yeah.
we
Point
need
at Sean and say it was him.
we need to get him to sign the book.
We do.
I mean, to be fair, I think we also need to have an art, just like a portrait of.
Yeah. We need
Which is-
to get a wild. We need to make a wild one that looks uncannily similar.
Artists, you're called up for it. Make us Will Wheaton.
I just happen to have banked with Queen Creeps one headshot
Well,
commissioned and
You
paid
know
for.
what you need to do.
So
My favorite
apparently
thing is,
that is going to be Wilf Wheaton.
if we can
Will
get him to
Wheaton.
sign that without questioning it, no explanations until he's signed. If we can get out on camera as well, that'd be fucking brilliant.
Okay.
Oh.
Mistress of the Coin is an
Oh.
avian.
we need a ridiculously long, overly pompous name.
To remind you, the avians like long and complicated names and enjoy taking titles, so it might not be the only title that she has.
Well, going along with that then, I think we can throw in, though not in particular order, the executive controller, chair manager, director, managing director, executive premier, governor, leader, official,
Of human
gaffer.
resources.
I love to throw in just gaffer. It just feels like it really shouldn't be there in the first place.
Oh, can we make it an acronym like Eric's an acronym?
I mean, I think
that's just
most
like-
of the ones that we've had so far have been acronyms. So we've got our current examples are Even I Runewood, Ironheart Cloudhand, or Eric, Fleetwing, Runewind, Elated Doric, which is Fred, And
Okay.
Rika, Umberite, Nightshade, Astra, or Runa for short.
If I'm given a bit of time, I will put a few of these together so that we can make an acronym for our avian. I will just need a bit of time to sort of go through a thesaurus or two, just to get a few bits and pieces going.
I will point out that that's not necessarily an acronym of the titles. Like she would have.
I get that.
Yeah. Okay.
When it comes down to it, I want to make, if I can, an acronym of titles, which is in itself becomes a title. So, for instance, let's say Chief would be the CHIF actually stands for something, and then the name of our avian. If that makes sense.
Elf.
I know that we.
Our interspecies ambassador is an elf. They have nature-related names that tend to be long and elaborate and elegant because they are elven. Our current examples of that are Savari and Tor.
Hmm. Hmm.
Any ideas?
I'm never any good at thinking of elf names.
Tanny, if you're in the chat, do you have any elf names?
Theory?
How are you spelling that?
THAT.
So. What name was being suggested there? Sorry.
Oh no, your name, the one you suggested.
Oh, sorry. You jumped. I thought there was a different. I missed a bit.
He said how you spelling that, so I said THAT.
Oh right. So AEVERIE.
Aviri.
EEGHEABQXVY. And number 3.
Well, the favorite thing is that Aviri is bit from ancient English and actually means elf council.
Yeah. And what does her surname Egabox 3 mean?
It means Nunya.
Okay, we'll come back to the rest of those in a moment because I'm going to go down the rest of this list real fast. Monster stats. I was waiting for the monster manual to be released so that we could get some idea of what the new look of monsters stat block was going to work like, and also have a chance to look at some of these new monsters. That, I feel, might be a discussion that we have off stream.
Fair.
But there's a list of some of them. I have 4 more to add to that list now. And then we've also got... Because I've added some new monsters. Because I had some...
I don't think I ever added any monsters. I completely forgot about it.
I had some monsters that I was saving for the Torgalard. And I was going to not put them in the book, and then I realized, well, I could just put them in the book and trust that players in my game will be nice and not, meta game, because I don't think you do. Naming conventions, we have this list. I keep pointing that way. That's the wrong way to point on the camera. It's that way. I need to point out the window to this list. This list of characters who don't currently have a naming convention. Gnomes, goblins, halflings, humans, Lacerta, and tiefling.
Humans will never know their naming convention.
And then we also...
just Bob or Steve. That's it. That's your examples.
Except for Dave.
Except for Dave.
Dave's always got to be different, though.
We also have the species details of the gnomes, who also need to have traits, because we've talked about the fact that they're mushroom people, but we don't have anything that really comes from that. Also, the halflings and the humans we need to apparently put some details into.
We'll never know what their traits are.
We'll come back to that again, because let's go down the miscellaneous list. Richard is writing a preface, which is going to be written, as mentioned, in character. I know a lot of books tend to have the things like the dedications and the thank yous, and possibly I know that D&D appears to have stopped doing this with the 2024 books, but the warning that goes at the front of the book.
They have. It is the greatest disappointment to me that they've stopped doing the disclaimer.
Yeah.
But I feel that we could possibly, I'm going to throw in their disclaimer question mark. Also, the credits of everybody who's written to the book, that I need to write that out. But obviously, you guys are in that. We've got a location called Nor Rock. That's the end of my information about it.
Okay.
It's there. It exists. Carry on.
My wayward son.
We also have extra planar locations. We currently have the Garden of Starless Skies, the notes on which are Shadow Realm, ? A dark reflection of Tamrinor itself. Potentially a realm called The Dreaming, and the Slumbering Twilight. In some places, this is an exaggerated version of Tamrinor with elements heightened to extreme levels, while the domains of some archfey are twisted to their own desires or depravities. These domains tend to be difficult to reach without the express permission of the archfey in charge of the realm. And then I've just got headings in the book that say, the higher planes, the lower planes, elemental planes?
Aeroplanes?
They're the higher planes.
Right, I've just sent you a message, by the way, John. This is to the our avian name, which is Erowin, or Erowin. Would you like me to read out the full name of that? Or, oh no, you just typed it.
I've popped it in, but by all means, do read out their full name.
So the full name is Eifrene Alaxi Rosin Orchi Nixwix Exodria Naradas.
Gesundheit.
Rolls off the tongue so well, doesn't it?
So yeah, we've got extra planar locations to think about. I want to rename these abilities of the wild one.
Okay.
Because we can't just take the shifter names for things.
We can't.
That's fair.
I've also got subclasses ? Because at the moment we don't have any, but also if we can't think of any that add anything to the game, we don't need them.
Yeah.
Just sort of say that I'm finding it difficult to read over the stream. Can you tell us the names of the abilities of the wild ones?
What we currently have and what the shifter currently has is Beast Hide.
Okay.
Which you gain 1d6 additional temporary hit points and +1 to your armor class.
Right.
Longtooth. When you shift as a bonus action, you can make an unarmed strike with your fangs. Your fangs deal 1d6 plus your strength modifier damage, piercing damage instead of bludgeoning. Swift Stride. While shifted, your walking speed increases by 10 feet. And you can move up to 10 feet as a reaction when somebody ends their turn within 5 feet of you. This reactive movement does not provoke opportunity attacks. And Wild Hunt. While shifted, you have advantage on wisdom checks, and no creature within 30 feet of you can make an attack roll with advantage against you unless you are incapacitated.
Okay. I mean, the very first one, I think we could change it quite quick and easy to the Wild Hide.
Wild Hide?
They are the wild anyway.
Sorry, was that Wild Hide?
Yes, Wild Hide.
One word?
Sure. What do we all think? One word or...
I think Wild Hide, one word works.
Okay.
Longtooth. And the one that immediately just comes to my mind is Mauler.
I must admit, I was thinking Maul as well.
Because you're fucking taking a big old chunk.
Mauler?
Yeah. Swift Stride.
Feral Agility?
Nah, it works.
And then the Wild Hunt, which is sort of tracking and staying aware of your surroundings.
I kind of want to put something in about scent, as if it's more a smelling ability. It's something of actually getting to know the area without sight, as it were. Whereas the...
Lufty!
Like, not necessarily having to be entirely about the smell, but it's about taking in the other senses.
Heightened senses?
I was going to say like higher senses or heightened senses.
Or bestial sense?
Bestial awareness.
Bestial awareness. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
Cool.
Done.
Hey, we got something off the list.
So magic items. I currently have one magic item, and I've got the name of two others.
To be fair, this could be another one where, shy of just average magic items, I think we should also, as a suggestion which a while back, John Vogue, I think we need to sort of rehash into it, is special items created by the creators.
Yes.
So, once again, done effectively in mystery, and they can be mixed up. Shy of us knowing exactly what we've done before, and John, who probably know everyone's by the time, but effectively we come up with them, we send them over to, and we have one each, which would be of a higher degree. It's taken as one of the ordained items of the world. And then obviously there would be other magic items which you can play along with as well.
So let me give you the example, or let me run through what the magic item I currently have is. And we've discussed this last session.
Okay.
The Plate of Casimir.
Oh, yes.
Perfect for those cheesy bastards.
This gleaming plate has the royal seal of Tamrinor embedded in the center of the chest in the deep blue of refined casamite. The helmet of the armor has a full featureless faceplate which can be seen through from the inside without blocking the vision of the wearer. While wearing this armor, you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. The armor also has a memory-altering effect on any who view the wearer. Their memories of the viewer who view the wearer, their memories. I need to rewrite this apparently because I've word souped in the middle of this. But their view of the person wearing the armor is that being is known as the Casimir and always has been, regardless of any incongruity with previous encounters. Friendly and neutral entities towards the Casimir feel a sense of trust.
Uh-huh.
I also was trying to weave in, and this could be something that one of us takes into a adventure hook. I was trying to work out, because we discussed it last time, the fact that the false Hydra magic of this is a little bit incongruous with the good guys.
Yeah.
And so I've come up with a solution to that plot hole. And I've added a new event to the calendar, and also it fits another plot hole, which is King Casimir. We have discussed the fact that nobody can remember his original species.
Yes.
But also he was only 600 years ago.
Yes.
Which means an elf could still remember being alive when he was alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
I fixed the problem. Da, 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 da.
By creating 14 others.
I have added a new event to the calendar titled The Unwriting.
Ooh.
In an attempt to halt the Alliance and rescue Queen Calliska, the Young Hunger of Knowledge, a splinter faction in the Raptors, enacts a powerful ancient ritual called the Unwriting that removes the target from the skein of destiny and undoes all of their actions.
Oh, wow.
Nix Mortis, the leader of the faction, targeted King Casimir with this dark ritual, but was interrupted in this action by Eris Cathaway, a knight sent to investigate the buildup of arcane power in a normally desolate region of the Iron Spine Mountains. This disruption caused the details of the ritual to be removed from the world, but the spell caused a warping of the magical plate armor of King Casimir IV, causing people to forget the details of the king's original race and what he looked like. King Casimir and his advisors realized that this could be used to further strengthen the alliance of Casimir, as it didn't matter the details of who King Casimir had been, but that he stood for the unification of all. Throughout the rest of his life, he wasn't seen in public without the full suit of armor and helmet.
Okay, I like that a lot more.
And
I was going to come up with a suggestion, but the elves had decided that, you know what, actually, we're not going to. It's better for everyone if we don't.
And basically, that suit of armor still has this memory warping effect about it.
Okay.
So anybody who wears it, if someone wears it, then everybody else immediately forgets what they look like or who they are.
Yes.
They are.
They
are King
they
Casimir.
are and always
Casimir.
have been the Casimir.
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't matter if a human wears it or an avian wears it. You know, the people will always say, yeah, the Casimir's always had wings. What are you talking
about?
Pretty much, yeah.
What do you mean? He's always been a short, stout guy. Yes.
Or is it that the perception change is so strong that you just can't help but see what you think the Casimir is meant to?
My viewpoint on it is that they have always looked that way in your mind. It doesn't matter what they had done at that point. Whoever is the latest person wearing the armor has done all of the things you've ever seen the Casimir doing. Even if that doesn't make sense, like even if suddenly a halfling is wearing it and you remember it being an 8-foot tall, I don't know if we've actually got any races that are 8 feet tall, but
not yet, but we'll make them now. Yes.
But even if it used to be a 6'5" human and now it's a 3'5" halfling, that doesn't matter anymore. They have always been the latest Casimir, and it just ripples back in your memory.
Always been the Casimir, yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm now just trying to find a very old picture that has a very old name on it for something. There it is. So the other two magic items we have is Green Fallow and Suntide. Green Fallow being the Hammer of Eric, and Suntide being the Staff of Mira, which is currently the staff of office of the chief cleric at Lawfell.
I will be right back in a few minutes.
Okay.
He was never seen again.
And then also spells. If we've got any other spells that we want to homebrew into the game. The one I've got at the moment in there is the Avian's Glamour spell, which is basically Disguise Person, but 8 hours.
Nice.
But we could add
on spell-wise.
We could add other spells. We could add other items. And as Ben says, I think it's a good idea that we do a item each.
Oh God, yes. Could even do the spell side of things as well. I've just been thinking when it comes down to the extra planner locations.
Yep.
And I kind of want to create a plane of fun, or a plane of play is probably a better way of placing it.
Okay.
Which I know is not going to sound like it makes a lot of sense, but it does for me. Basically, the whole thing is effectively this is a place which is claimed as fun, is claimed as play because they play games. It is a constant play of games. If you get sucked into it, you are forced to play.
Okay.
If you do decide not to play, you'll become a piece in a game.
Is it run?
Basically,
Is it ruled over by a small puppet with a white face and spirals on its cheeks?
Not quite, no.
I want to play a game.
It's one of those things where it was actually from the Doctor Who side of things.
I was going to say, it's the toy maker, isn't it?
Exactly. And it's more like, okay, the toy maker sort of realm. Because I like that whole thing of it. Yeah, games have always been, but no one knows why. Rather than it just being something where people think it's just for the sake of fun, it's nearly sort of, it's actually been something nestled in the background, though you haven't realized. But it can be a lot more insidious than it sounds. And I'm trying to think of a good name for it, but I like that idea. And I wanted it to sort of play with that idea.
Okay.
Because it opens up a brand new concept of different games that you can sort of throw in that you have literally been thrown into a game. Your characters have been pulled and thrown in. And now to earn your freedom and the favor of whichever person is in charge, you must win.
Well, you know what winners get. They get prizes.
Exactly. That's why everyone loves playing games. Even if the downside is to be a poor eternity. But
prizes.
I also like that as an idea, effectively, that they can effectively halt your aging. You will be this forever because you're a piece in the board game, and I don't want you ever to change. And I could see so many ideas of that being sort of story hooks and such forth going forth, but I like it as an idea which I really want to sort of put forward.
I like it. Go for it. Yeah. For the sake...
Sorry, be you back.
Okay.
No worries.
For the sake of what we've got at the moment, can we come up with some naming conventions, do you think, for the races that are listed here?
Okay.
I can't remember what names are listed there.
So we've got the gnomes, we've got the goblins, we've got the halflings, the humans, the lacerta, and the tiefling. Now, I think for the sake of the tiefling, I do like the... what's it called? The... brain fart. The virtue names.
Yeah, I
do for the
tiefling. Like the virtue names.
So I think we put back... Tieflings tend to take names based on a virtue that they either wish to embody or are trying to avoid. And how do I put the naming conventions? Examples, creed. Any other examples we can think of for a tiefling names that we wanted to share in the book?
Valor. Embrace.
Sean? I mean, Sean's not a name for a tiefling, but
Yes, I am. I'm a tiefling now. Fuck you.
I
Fuck you.
I embrace the virtue of Sean.
As you should, as it is the most important virtue of all. Trying to think. Can't think. All words expelled from brain. Virtue name. I mean, like, you could have, like, virtue could be obviously like what they admire and things like poetry.
Yes. Well, poetry is an interesting one because on multiple levels.
Yeah.
Poetry, grace, wonder. I think we've got enough examples there of what a tiefling name is then.
Yeah. They get the idea.
I
I
have always loved that idea for the names though, and I am sad that stopped being a thing they suggested.
I don't think they really do name suggestions anymore, do they?
No. Or not quite in the same.
So,
I mean, the thing that they basically...
That's kind of one of the major issues I've had with 2025 rules is they've kind of ripped out a lot of the flavour of solid things.
But that's kind of what I've viewed it as, is they've taken the flavour out of the rule book, and so the point of this book that we're writing and this sort of book that we're writing is to put that flavour in.
Yeah.
Like the player's handbook is the place for the rules, and this book is the place for the flavour.
Yeah.
I am curious to see...
I would agree with you, except that this is a role-playing game, and the player's handbook is where you make your characters.
I'm curious to see how that viewpoint stands when the Forgotten Realms and the Eberron book come out, because those books should be the place for the flavour to be.
They should be.
I have a horrible, horrible feeling they won't put any flavour in again.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
For goblins...
Yes.
I very much like that it is effectively... It is twofold. It is up until the point where they have done something worthy of changing their name. But to begin with, it is effectively the first thing which was seen after they were born. So it could be they start off as dirt, or they could be something along those dirt, stone, Posy! Found a Posy when you came. And then it changes when they've actually done something. So
I'm just having visions.
Oh yeah.
I'm just having visions of the Discord character named One Man Bucket.
But it's effectively
whose full name is One Man Throwing a Bucket of Water Over Two Dogs.
That is effectively it. That is effectively what I'm thinking. Though I must say I haven't come across that story yet.
If I remember One Man Bucket correctly, be better off that you're not his brother.
He was born 5 minutes earlier.
But yeah, so when it comes down that becoming the sort of naming convention, but they have an initial, which is usually discarded quite quickly. So there'll be a lot of dirts up until the point where they become Nasher or Bunker or different things which they have achieved that sort of gained a note of arraignment from it.
To be fair, the goblins in this setting are much more. They're the tinkerers.
I know they're more the tinkerers and bits and pieces, and even to the degree of effectively being able to make particular bits and pieces. But I like it being they get named after things which they've done, or even if it's after. Effectively, their name comes from their achievement rather than from anything else. So even if it comes down to, the smartest one becomes a Sparks or something like that, It is something named basically after something they have actually managed to do. And also going along with some of the private discussions, I would love for there to be one who does what it says on the tin, effectively. Just sort of say that the rest of them, yeah, it was a side effect that I did this and all that lot, but I meant to make a pencil sharpener. I actually created
Nuclear
You
fusion.
could use it for this, you know.
So I've put, in childhood, the goblins are named for the first thing that was seen after they were born. After they have done something noteworthy, they discard their childhood name and take on a new name based on their accomplishments.
Because then it can come down to things like you could be called Swift because you just happen to be faster, quicker than the rest of them. For the sake that you're a quick tinkerer, you could be a amazing tinkerer, shall we say? You become Spark Fingers or something like that.
I've got the examples of names of Spark Fingers, does what it says on the tin, sharp, and swift.
I like it.
Can anyone think of another name that doesn't start with an S? And no, Snicket doesn't count.
Snack it then.
Should
I
go
Crasher?
gear grinder.
Like that one, actually. That's kind of cool. So you can't trust Gear Grinder. He grinds gears.
Was in his
It
name,
was
innit?
It was one time.
I do like the idea of make a name for themselves, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. It might not necessarily be something positive.
No, it's just the first noted thing that should
The
done.
first notable thing they do is like, oh no, oh god, no, not the accident. Oh, I've just had an accident making up a new thing to clean out latrines. Now I'm shit sprayer.
Well, that's how I like things like Crasher, because Crasher sounds amazing, like hardcore, and it's like, yeah, I crashed the first test of our new train vehicle. It wasn't supposed to.
You were building an
I'm the
oven.
dummy. Yeah.
How did you crash an oven?
I didn't know it wasn't supposed to have wheels.
Someone put the steering wheel on wrong.
It was hot. I couldn't stay in the seat, and so the pedals.
I mean, we shouldn't have given the job of putting the steering wheel on to Wonky Eyes, but.
Oh.
Okay, so we've got.
I like that. I like that a lot. Right.
Sean.
What?
I'm going to pick on you because I think you can. I think you could come up with a good naming convention for the Lacerta, who are our lizard folk.
I feel it would either be something with a lot of consonants, so very few vowels, if any.
It's got to be something with lots of S's and THs and nothing else.
Or, because I like the fact that in D&D, obviously now 2014 D&D, but I like the fact that lizard folk in that are very literal. They do not do similes or metaphors or anything like that. They are literal. So a name describes that person. And usually it's just one word. So that's why they don't understand human names or elf names and shit like, because none of those are describing that person. That's a lot of weird words they don't get. Which is why they tend to give people they travel with nicknames that are like if it's a Goliath barbarian, he's tall. He's just that's tall. I don't care that he's insisting that his name is Uthal Bear Killer. He's tall. So
I do like that.
So I feel that I quite like that convention in that their names could be like descriptive in their own language, but so they'll be like, I don't know, Sakal, which may be like green because he's got green scales. I've just made up Sakal. Do not quote me. That may not be. Until we make the entire lizard folk language, we. But all of their names will mean something about them. So, and a little bit like the goblins are subject to change through their life, because like if they have like an accident that lops off the end of their tail, they may have a name that translates to short tail or something like that. It's like something that just describes them, and it's cool.
Very nice.
It's cool, even if I do say so myself. Got a notification on Discord. Why?
Final boss fight has just gone live. What
Shit, we
now?
have.
Say what? Say what?
So I've put Lacerta names describe themselves in a single obvious word. They don't understand similes or metaphors. Lacerta don't tend to understand the names of other species and will often come up with Lacerta names for their travelling companions. Lacerta names are often changed throughout their life if events cause their appearance to drastically change. Examples: Sakal, which means green, tall, one eye, short tail, and stumpy.
Yep. That's the one. That's the ticket. That's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the baby.
That's the way, I like it.
We have Gnomies, Halflings, and Humans.
We've already said humans. No conventions. Mysterious.
I do kind of like the fact that humans don't really have conventions. They hear things they like and throw it in even if they don't know what it means.
I mean, that is
Otherwise,
very
there are ancient names had for long periods of time, which they just do for tradition. That's why you have some which are well known to us in our realm, as in outside of the game, like Dave. And there are some where it makes no sense when you actually take a look at what the language actually calls them. Like, for instance, Split Tongue, which is Silvara, or something from the lizard one. Where you end up with the lizard folk looking at you trying to figure out why on earth you're called Split Tongue.
Why? Why?
Pretty much basically saying they're English. We hear something we like and we take it.
All of your stuff belongs to us because
It is the British Museum of Races and Species.
If you want to see your stuff, you can pay to go in the museum.
But I like that it is probably the most broad out of the lot, but for the worst reason possible. It's just, I like the sound of that. I'm going to call my daughter that. Why would you call your daughter that?
Why would you call your daughter Shit Sprayer?
Yeah.
Just saying, my first character when we start playing in this world is going to be Shit Sprayer the Goblin. Just saying. Just saying.
Noted.
Sean, not to play for a while.
Humans don't tend to have naming conventions and will sometimes borrow from the other species around them, either taking the names of their neighbors or hearing a word that they like and using that for a name. Other humans use their long-standing ancient names. And then the examples of Sir Carl, Tiffany, and Dave.
Yeah.
Okay, humans done.
But using Dave is frowned upon because it's like naming your kid Jesus.
Halflings. Have we got any ideas for the halflings?
Let's see.
The halflings tend to be farmers and stay at home and don't really do much until they do.
I mean, it's very Tolkien-esque.
I mean, to go with the Tolkien-esque side of things, that it has an air of alliteration to it.
Yeah.
So they will always have that air of alliteration that it is. They come up with a name because it rolls off the tongue well and sticks in the memory because of it.
Yeah.
Very similar to the whole Bill the Bow Baggins and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It is. They do it by design. It is literally. It almost maybe started off as a form of laziness, but became more of a relaxed lifestyle of, yeah, a name doesn't need to be anything complicated. It just needs to sort of go with the flow. So you end up with a lot of alliterative names, which became a convention which was never intended to be.
I like the idea that they purposefully try to find a name or pick a name for their children that works with their family name.
Exactly.
That, it's like something that will be poetic or sing-songy or
Exactly.
just happy name.
Even to that point where people come up with more, very similar to like our own human culture, where people try and come up with some very interesting names to be very dramatic and different from everyone else. They do the same thing with the Hobbit side of things, the Halfling side of things, where it becomes more like you try to explain it through a different, deeper sense of poetry. That it is almost has to be poetic or almost verse-like, but very much how poetry doesn't need to rhyme sometimes. That names will sometimes go in the same way, and they are taken to be the deeper and more intellectual versions of Halfling. Sort of.
Halfling names tend to have either an air of alliteration, rhyming, or poetic lilt to them, which causes them to stick in the mind and aids them to go with the flow. They will aim to work with something that they will aim to find something that will work with their family name. Does that work?
That works for me.
Does that cover everything that we said?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Do you have any examples?
I feel we're going to need the we'll have to think of surnames and forenames for this.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
Phila Philtropis. So Phila from the Philtropis family.
How are you spelling both of those names?
No idea.
Phila Philtropis. I'll say like that. You don't get to see it.
I was going to say, I'll go with it. I don't know what it says or how it's written, but I'll go with it.
it's just in all caps. Fuck you, Ben.
I've gone with
honeysuckle.
Yeah. The honeysuckles have been a long and prestigious family.
I've gone, by the way, Feela, Phila, Philtropis, Philtropis.
I like it. Once again, it sounds nice. It goes together in that way.
I feel we need a male name.
That's a good idea. Yes.
It's just we don't know any male name.
Hello, Ulisalatus. The problem is, the moment you said male names, my immediate mind went straight to Blackadder with Bob. And I'm now trying to work from there.
Oh no! Now I've gone to Blackadder of Ploppy, son of Ploppy.
I'm just trying to look back through our chapter on places.
Good call to go for something slightly named or named
I
after a place as well.
I know one. It's to Davith Dinglewell.
Davith Dinglewell, yeah.
Davith Dinglewell.
Hang on a second. How are you spelling that? Daveth
Daveeth.
Dinglewell.
Dinglewell. Dingl. Do we want an E before well, or
I think E before well.
Yeah, so EWEL.
Okay, so that's halflinks.
Halflinks. Apparently now they wear lederhosen.
I don't know. I figured also Bobar of Dodar. Bobar Dodar.
Boba Doda.
Boba Dodar.
At the same time, I at once. All of these names sound exactly like a hobbit or a halfling, but at the same time, they also sound like they belong in a CBeebies character.
I have changed how I spelled Boba Doda because I realized that what it actually read is booby, booba.
Boobies!
Booby Boba!
Unisalatus. I'm John. Hello. Ben obviously is the voice you know.
Yes.
Sean is the voice you don't know.
I don't know my voice.
And Geoff is also here somewhere.
Hello.
That is us all today.
Gnomes.
Mushroomy.
I was going to say sort
mushrooms.
Yeah, so I was thinking sort of floral or fauna. It's in their own tongue, but effectively it is...
That is not the right spelling of Sean.
You have offended Sean. Sean is...
There we go.
Getting back in there. There we go. Happy Sean. No death penalties. No, it hasn't hasn't let off of the last one yet. You must appease Sean on us. You must appease Sean. So yes. So with gnomes, I was thinking very much on the floral side of it. Bits and pieces from the. For the different plants which they would name themselves. So effectively, we're thinking like instead of the Latin name for plants, we have the gnomish name for plants. And effectively, when it comes, so I'm sure we can come up with some examples of it was this, it is now this. Like for instance, I'll go with the honeysuckle. With all honeysuckle been mentioned. So I'm reading the chat now. Yeah. So honeysuckle in the gnomish, I would place down as effectively comes round to the satin hat in direct translation. But we haven't actually come with gnomish or any of these other languages because none of us are. So
none of us are talking.
Yes.
Effectively, what I'm placing down is that you can come up with a different name which you believe is sort of quite gnomish, but it will mean effectively a plant.
Yeah.
And it's usually their description of the plant because in there, as I say, a honeysuckle to them looks like a satin hat. Moss is I'm going to say that it's more like the soft bed or something along those lines. It's just something which they've their own version, their own way of looking at it. And generally it's going to be in a positive light. It never seems to be a negative sort of thing. Positive name which is given. So a family member is never going to name you after their least liked plant or weed. It is always going to be something which they like or admire for a reason. So if you did get named after it, it would be because it lives throughout everything. It's a feral thing. It's amazing. It is like seeing the bright side of every plant and piece of fauna or ground that is around them. It is always positive.
Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got gnomes tend to name themselves, or tend to name their offspring after their names for plants which describe the plants in a positive light due to their connection with nature. Example, satin hat, honeysuckle, and soft carpet, moss.
I like it.
Okay. I might need to come up with the species details between times, but we can go over that later. I mean, I think humans is actually one that is just take from the book because we can. And halflings is probably similarly that, but with the description of their nice, comfy habitat. Let's have a quick look at how quickly can I set this next bit up.
You have 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'm afraid you ran out of time for that one.
Now we have to take you to the firing squad.
A constant police carol, I love it.
Consonant T.
Another consonant. If it's a W, I'm worried.
T.
Sean just wants a T.
T.
And a vowel.
T.
I think I've won this one. I have used 9 letters.
Oh, I'm afraid you spelled that wrong.
Damn it!
It's got a, you see, actually has a silent Q.
Wait, what about the ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta? That's surely a...
Okay.
No, it's got a 3 in it.
There must be ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta.
So,
Oh,
I now have a wheel.
Oh God!
Oh no!
dear God. But
I
wait,
know.
there's more.
I now have a wheel. And we're going to just start at the top of the list of names in the Discord and say, Ben.
Okay.
You get Taze Hall.
Hayes Hall. Okay.
Geoff, you get error connecting to database.
Yay!
Yeah,
that
wheel.
that small town right in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, Geoff, you get Silvaro.
I thought it was going to land exactly on between.
Jeez.
You get system error.
Error. This is like you said, it's a small town in the middle of nowhere where people are just like, you know, trying to T-pose through walls and shit like that.
The temptation to actually create a place called Error now, just for the sake of it.
I get
Error.
Lawfell.
Error. Ah.
One second, I should actually be making a note of this.
I would suggest it.
Ben. Geoff.
Yaha.
Me. See if I can remove this name and it not cause an error.
Error.
I doubt.
It's a perfectly stable website.
I'm sorry, John. I can't let you do that.
Geoff, I've noticed a hole in the market we might need to work on.
One of us, right, is now just making a skinny little website. That's it. all the campaigns are over now.
Every piss poor
Oh, there's actually a
website.
button for this. Okay, cool. Sean.
Aye.
You have Tor Point.
Tor Point. Quest hook.
Ben.
Rebuild Tor Point.
North Haven.
North Haven. Just like North Haven Brook, but not that at all.
Geoff.
Hello. You get error.
Honeyvale.
Honeyvale.
Me, I get Sirens
Dave.
Academy.
Ooh. Then that works quite
Sean.
nicely.
You get South Haven.
So that
We
South
will be
Haven.
bitter rivals, obviously.
Mike
Invade South Haven.
Plot hook for South Haven. Bomb North Haven.
Craven Wing. Ben.
Ravenwing, okay.
Geoff.
Mm-hmm.
You get Sirens Harbor.
Ooh. They all begin with S so far. One of them doesn't begin with S. 3/4 of them begin with S so far.
Sean.
Me? Little old me.
Sunspire.
Sunspire. Not Sunspit, Sunspire.
Ben.
Yep.
Emtaradim.
Taradim.
Taradim.
Geoff.
Hello.
You get the Boreas Fields.
Not the laborious fields, just the Boreas fields.
It's the
I
glorious
guess.
one. So, God, oh, shut up, bitch.
Arium.
Ooh. Urium.
Ooh.
Sean.
Yes.
Torgalad.
Torgalad. I can't remember how it's spelled. That'll do.
Ben.
Yo. What's my soggy celery gonna get?
Stone's Grave.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting all the dwarves.
Geoff.
Mm-hmm.
You get one of these two.
Okay.
Eventually. Yeah.
Error.
Lycos.
Lycos.
I get
What's it gonna be? Oh!
Crag Cliff.
For the sake of this stream, if nothing else, can we create a new area called Error and give it to Sean to put in a random quest and adventure hook? Because I feel that it's necessary now, because the computer has been constantly asking us.
Also, Sean, if you can come up with a fantasy spelling of error.
I will think of one. It's gonna just have like 5 R's at the end.
To be fair, I was expecting you to sort of say, okay, what we need you to do is E-RROR. Arrow. I wasn't expecting you to actually do that, but I love it.
It's ER apostrophe ROAR. Error.
Raw.
I'm just waiting for the mysterious item of the 404 has gone missing.
Okay, so that's that. I will send you guys access to the. I'll just send you the book at the moment.
And we'll publish it now and make all of the money.
I'll put it into the group chat that we have.
Cool.
I mean, we now also need to name the goblin and the gnome and the halfling members of the Casimir Council. So let's try and do that before we finish. So
the goblin is obviously shit sprayer.
not all goblins are going to be shit sprayer, Sean.
I don't know. There's a lot of them had the problem with that. Whoosh pop clang boom. No one knows what he did, but they all made that noise.
I'm going to call him whoosh pop.
Wasn't that a song? Wasn't that a song from the BFG animated movie?
Probably.
Whiz pop whoosh back.
The chief of external affairs is a gnome.
I would kind of like to make that the acorn's helmet.
One word or two?
I'm going to make that 2.
And then our director of guilds and freelancers is halfling. Daveth?
It could be Daveth.
Although we do have a Dave on the council already.
Yeah, that
That's
might
true.
cause problems.
I see. So
They might try to avoid other names that sound like Dave at all costs, just in case they offend the chair.
Feeler Philtropus?
Yeah, I could do a Philophotropus. Why is that now running off of the tongue so easily? Yeah. Philophotropus, of course. Yes, been created for ages.
I also just want to quickly go back to this little-known website, finalbossfight.co.uk.
Never heard of it.
And just see if I can quickly find... It's on page 4, I believe. Eric's Tale. There we go. Even I Runewood, Ironheart, Cloudhand, Keeper of the Scriptures of the Third Wing of the Emberwolf Library, the fourth in line to the lineage of Head Cleric Mervyn Waterhelm and Keeper of the Sacred Hammer Greenfallow.
You know, I am going to be coming up with a full name for Arrow to go against that. So basically, yes, the full titles which have been encountered for the entire time is.
So I mean,
I
can't help but feel that if we've got the Keeper of the Scripture of the Third Wing of the Emberwolf, I'm going to change it quickly to the Emberwolf Archives.
Okay.
Retconning.
For the sake of the wings,
we need a first and second, right?
At least. I mean, the bits which I was going to say is, are we saying that the wings are they different chapters of the archive itself? So there are different locations, different. So we know there are at least 3. But how many would we say are actually around?
I mean, in what we've described so far,
I mean, to be fair, a Trinity is quite good for it anyway, to be fair.
1 second, once I finish writing this, I'll be able to concentrate on other things.
Master John!
Think! They're raising questions!
In what we've described so far of the Emberwolf archives, they are spread across the country, and there are outposts within most of the major cities, and they can sort of act as a transportation hub between those places because they are spellcasters and able to teleportation circle between the various archive outposts. I think the wings themselves are like the main three, maybe.
I was going to say, I mean, there is something beautiful about a Trinity, I've got to say. It does work quite nicely. How about if they were more like districts then? So the first wing is this area is under the wing of this area is.
Yeah, I'd say maybe it's like the keeper of the scripture of the first wing is the head of the library of place.
I would say, yeah, I would agree with that side of things, and effectively that would be the main library of that area. That it is almost like the holy place for the Emberwolves in that location.
So even I,
that's why it is so important.
Even I, Runewind, Ironheart, Cloudhand, Keeper of the Scriptures, the third wing. I think the third wing is in Sunspire.
I think, yeah, actually, that's a good location, I'd say.
The first wing, do we put that in Lawfell?
Like that would make a lot of sense. I mean,
the capital city.
It would, and it would also be quite a significant place down for themselves.
Third wing is locationed in. So the second wing.
Could we make that one a bit more of a treacherous place, going closer to the maelstrom? It's more having to be physically guarded as well, rather than just mentally guarded. Because imagine the whole place is going to be, of importance. It's still the land after all, isn't it?
I mean, that could put it in the Boreas Fields.
Boreas Fields could be interesting.
Which already, Boreas Fields already has the adherence of Rorquesh, but an Emberwolf archive, it would make sense that there'd be a big Emberwolf.
It's not to say that there would be, yeah. It's not to say that they're trying to have any impact upon what the adherents of the Rorquesh do. It's just happen to be in the similar sort of vicinity. Their only concern is about the knowledge of. Allow them, the adherents of Rorquesh, to do what. Effectively, that whole thing of we're neither here nor against you. We are just here.
Yeah. It's not that we oppose you. We have the same goal. We just happen to be like, hello. Okay, so. Geoff, this I feel is a commentary that you and I possibly need to share, and the others can chime in on.
Okay.
At the point when we did the writing,
yeah,
Eve and I, etc., was the keeper of the scriptures the third wing of the Emberwolf archives, and fourth in line to the lineage of head cleric Mervyn Waterhelm. It's been about 100 years.
So what?
Is he still fourth in line?
Yes.
Is Mervyn then a avian?
He's a very old human.
Well, to be fair,
I mean,
I just like the idea that he's still exactly where he was 100 years ago for Eric.
Okay.
you could even place down that is by choice as well.
Oh no, I just like the idea that he gets frustrated about it.
Fair enough. Actually, no, that's a good for a storyline as well.
I like the idea that he keeps fucking up and being knocked down, so then someone else replaces him, the other person dies, and he ends up going 4 again.
So if he's fourth in line to the lineage of head cleric Mervyn Waterhelm died like 50 years ago, and he just got lost in the paperwork, and nobody's ever found it since.
It could be literally one of those things.
That's the sort of thing that just like irritates me to no end.
Honestly, I play on that sort of irritation real well, and certainly an irritation thing that he's too good at his job and his place that they don't want to lose that position and have decided to just keep him.
Oh no! I think it's even better than that. He's too good at his position and his job that nobody even knows nobody even notices him there.
Oh yes, and it doesn't stand out.
If he was bad at his job or something went wrong, everybody would know who he was. But the fact that he's so good, nobody just like even knows he exists.
It just runs. It just works. The true epitome of too good at your job. Oh, that just opens up a wonderful idea of an adventure hook would work so perfectly for it, or just sort of say, everything's gone wrong. No one knows why. Eric has just given up and just decided to take a day off, and everything goes wrong.
Everything has gone wrong. It's Eric's week off a year.
Oh dear.
He's on his PTO.
He takes them so irregularly because once again, if you add in the whole aspect of lifespan, that effectively a weekend away is like they end up saying with Legolas. The entirety of Lord of the Rings is like Legolas in comparison to the rest of them. But it's the same sort of thing that decided to take.
It's like was it Twitter where the story came out of where they found like a old Commodore 64 or something gathering dust in a cupboard somewhere, and so it is still on, and they thought to themselves, we don't need this, we'll turn it off, and the entire system, the entire security firewall cracked down around them.
The second in command at the third wing comes in one day and like everything's gone to shit, and somebody goes over to Eric's office and just a sign on the door that just says, "Ooh." What does that mean? What does it mean? Somebody else who's been there.
I didn't even know there's an office here.
Somebody else who's been there a few years just comes back. It's fine. He'll be back in a few days.
Written in a runish or something. It's a sign. It's had for ages. He just puts it back up. He literally blows the dust off of it, puts it up.
Okay. One thought for Mervyn Waterhelm. We do have an artifact that we've discussed in backstory discussions that brings people back to life. I'm trying to remember what we called it. The Vorthir.
The Vorthir.
reportedly returns people to life, but the life they remember is not the one they left behind. Is Mervyn Waterhelm still alive because of the Vorthir?
I just don't even think he's still alive. I think he died a long time ago.
So is there a new head cleric?
Oh, no. Actually, you could place this down very simply. That it became such a point and figurehead, a religious icon of itself. They preserve the body and believe it to still be ongoing and go for wisdom.
Oh, yes.
But it is effectively more like a casket which still has him. It just preserved so well. But Marion never says anything. Nothing comes from him, and yet it has gained wisdom going to see.
I like that. He died a long time ago, but they maintain the illusion that he's still alive.
I think it was sort of thrown through that maybe there's a slight mishap came down to the way that it was set up. And taking inspiration from The Simpsons down to Memorial, and there was a little gas leak which gave people holy vision. But effectively, there is something atmospheric around the area which seems to believe that they've gained enlightenment.
I mean,
and
I'm just going to throw it out there. This is a fantasy setting, and we could literally have them be able to talk to the dead.
That's true. That is very true, actually.
We don't have to live within the realms of The Simpsons and gas leaks.
Oh, no.
When we can literally have them go, hey, what do you think?
I was literally sort of playing off the whole aspect that something wasn't actually happening, it was more in their mind. But as you say, actually having it that, no, he is dead. This is effectively his casket. His body has been exhumed to a degree that it doesn't decompose. It's there, and they can talk to him. As you say, it's just like an ongoing spell which is cast again and again. That effectively Winterhelm is forever. Or until finally says, for God's sake, will you shut up and let me rest?
Are the keepers of the scripture at the first and second wing of the Emberwolf Archives avians?
I would say yes, more for the sake that they had the position before a lot of unity had occurred. And
I would love, as much as it makes sense for them to be avians, I would love one of them to be an elf.
I mean, to be fair, if I was going to place down, I would have gone along the lines of goblin. Just for the sake that it's an oddity of knowledge that allowed them to get into that place. But I do like your concept of the elf as well.
Elf, because there is the rivalry between avians and elves. So it would be a very sore point that one of them is an elf.
That was the same reason why I was going to say goblin, was just for the sake that their kind of knowledge is very different from us. Yes, but it's still knowledge. And it doesn't.
Would you say that would be the second wing, Sean?
Yeah, I feel the first would be too high. Too high.
Okay, so elf names are nature-based in Elven.
Got a feeling.
thinking like oaken or ash. Ash being quite an old, elderly sort of design. Ashana. Ashana.
Ashina.
Shana. Shana. Keeper of the Scriptures, the second wing of the Emberwolf Archives. Possibly another title goes in there afterwards. We'll come back to that. Or we can come back to that another time, or not. Who knows? And then the Keeper of the First Archives is a stuffy old avian.
I would say a very stuffy old avian.
Traditionalist avian. Avian spelled correctly. I will come up with a name off camera for that, because we could be here all the rest of the night coming up with names for avians.
Oh god, yeah.
That's a long thing. Right. I think that's a good place to wrap it up. I will start...
I was going to say...
I will start putting these things into the book. Everybody has their assignment of adventure hook locations.
Indeed.
So, let's say to the camera, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please do hit that follow button. It's a great way for you guys to know we go live, a completely free way that you can support us on the channel. It really does mean a lot to us. We have a Discord you can join to chat with us about the games we're playing and the things that we're doing. We have a space on the Discord that you can talk to us about the book and about the things that we are putting in the book. We also have a YouTube channel that you can catch up with all of the previous videos on. We have a website, finalbossfight.co.uk, that you can catch up on all of the stuff we do on the website. And those are the things we say at this point in this. Do stay tuned for more of the book, because, as I say, it is coming very soon. Let's have a quick look at the streams that are coming up. Tomorrow night, myself and Ben at least are going to be back for the Dungeon of the Mad Mage as the group descend into the Slither Swamp. A new level of the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and in exciting times, the new monster manual is out now, which means new monsters.
Oh no. No, John, we do not need new monsters in the
Blob
Dungeon
of Annihilation. It's the Blob of Annihilation.
No.
You guys have had the new 2024 players rules for a little while now, and it's about time that my monsters caught up with that. So
No, they don't need to catch up.
Blob of Annihilation.
I feel they need to downgrading, if anything. Go back a few steps.
So look forward to that.
Elemental Cataclysm.
On Monday night, myself, Michael, and Sean hopefully will be back with some more Satisfactory, and we are going to be hopefully automating circuit boards and computers. Tuesday night, it should be Dungeon of the Mad Mage. No, Tuesday we'll just do more D&D. Tuesday night will be Dragon Age Inquisition, assuming the EA servers let me play the game this time.
No.
Oh. Wednesday midweek Minecraft, I'm going to start automating all the things, because we've got to a point where I can automate all the things.
Nice. And I won't die in it this time.
Oh, don't make promises you can't keep.
John won't record me dying this week.
That may be more accurate. And then Saturday next week, Sean,
Yes.
It's time.
It's time for the hands of fate.
Next week, Sean and I, and possibly some others, are going to be watching the public domain movie night, where we will watch the worst film ever committed to film.
I'm sorry, I needed the money.
Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Oh, that one, never mind.
Hold on to your hard hats. This is it's going to be rough.
It is.
It's
going to be rough.
It's something special. It is something special, and we'll see you there. It'll happen to all of us.
That sounds like a threat, John.
With Manos, The Hands of Fate, it is.
It is. But what will happen to all of us as well is that it will stop happening at some point after we start it. It will stop eventually.
Yep. And then, like an hour after that, we can stop crying.
With tears of joy?
No.
Oh.
Of abject pain and terror.
Oh, no.
We're now going to...
Those are the worst kinds of tears.
We are now going to send you over to Snowballfest, who is playing Darker and Darker, where they question, how can it get any darker?
You turn the lights out.
Tune in to the darkness. Give Snowballfest some love. We'll see you guys again real soon. For now, so long. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.